Child support, a look at the basics. Dustin McCrary, divorce attorney and founder of the law office of Dustin McCrary, provides a basic information on child support and discusses a few of the most common and important child support issues that may arise in a divorce. Hi, I'm Dustin McCrary, and I'm glad you've joined me today to discuss an issue that's encountered in every divorce case that involves children, and that's the extremely important issue of child support. Every divorce is different, and every couple has a unique relationship dynamic and issues that led to their divorce. It goes without saying that some relationships are certainly more amicable than others, but in almost all cases, regardless of how two spouses feel about one another as they approach the divorce, almost all parents want to help their children and to be there for them in any way possible. This includes with respect to child support. So it's important to remember that although there may be contention about how much support is paid, most parents do have the best of intentions. Approaching negotiations with your spouse while keeping this in mind typically helps the entire process to go more smoothly and work more effectively for everyone involved. One of the first questions I'm often asked is, how much child support would a North Carolina family court order in my case? That's an understandable question, as most families want to be able to budget and predict their expenses following a divorce. After all, it can certainly be expensive to go from one home and one set of bills to two, and being able to plan ahead is important. First, I would again urge anyone who thinks they may be able to communicate and compromise cooperatively with their spouse to consider entering into a divorce settlement agreement on their own, rather than having a court determine the matter. There are many advantages to coming to an agreement on your own, but foremost among them is the freedom and flexibility to resolve your issues in a way that works best for your family and your lifestyle. After all, you know your family far better than any judge ever will, no matter how well-intentioned he or she might be. When you determine your issues on your own, you give yourself the freedom to make decisions that suit you best. It's no different when it comes to child support. Nevertheless, in some cases, it's impossible for parents to resolve their issues for any number of reasons, and in those cases, a court will calculate your child support obligation for you. Courts in North Carolina make the calculation using the North Carolina Child Support Guidelines. These guidelines set forth a way for the court to calculate child support for families whose combined household income is less than $300,000 per year. There are a variety of worksheets, A, B, and C, and which worksheet a court will use depends on the family's custody situation. Worksheet A is typically used when the children stay with one parent less than 122 nights per year. Worksheet B is used if the parents have divided the time in such a way that the children are basically living with each parent half the time. That means they spend at least 122 evenings with that parent per year. Worksheet C is used if the parents have a split custody situation in which one sibling is living with one parent while the other lives with a different parent. After the court has decided which worksheet it will use, it applies the guidelines to calculate child support. Basically, the gross monthly income earned by both parents is considered prior to taxes. All income, whether it's a regular salary, bonuses, or commission, is included in the calculation. Parents are also given credit for particular expenses they pay for the children. These may be payments for things like medical insurance or daycare expenses, as two of several possible examples. Using these calculations and considering the factors set forth in the statute, courts will then issue a child support award requiring one parent to make payments to the others in a specified amount. It can be helpful for parents to use a child support calculator, like the one included on this website, for purposes of determining what their child support obligation might be. Of course, some families have unique circumstances that may alter these amounts somewhat, so it's always important to consult with an attorney. But at least having a general idea ahead of time can be helpful. Another question I'm commonly asked is, how long does my child support obligation last? In North Carolina, child support is typically required to be paid from the time it's ordered until the children turn 18 or graduates from high school. whichever happens to be later. Usually, unless some extraordinary extenuating circumstances exist, the obligation to end up paying child support stops at age 20 at the latest. The third question I'm often asked is, how are child support obligations enforced? Understandably, this is a legitimate question, and while it's unfortunate that it has to be asked, there are certainly instances where parents fail to pay their child support and action must be taken. In North Carolina, as in all states across the country, there are various enforcement options for failure to pay support. If one parent is not paying child support, their wages might be garnished, their tax refunds might be collected, their driver's license may be suspended, and they may even face jail time in addition to court-ordered fines. If you find yourself in this unfortunate situation, it's very important to speak with an attorney as soon as possible. Your attorney will be able to help direct you to the child support enforcement agency in your county and talk to you about the appropriate steps to take to begin pursuing the support you're entitled to. No parent should ever feel stressed or worried about their ability to provide for their child because of another parent's refusal to do what's right. If you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to get child support enforced, or if you're simply trying to negotiate child support issues for the first time, the best step you can take is to consult a knowledgeable and experienced attorney who can help guide you through the legal process and advise you as to how the law might apply to your particular circumstances. If you need legal help, I'm here for you. It's my passion to help families through the divorce process as smoothly and effectively as possible, so that they can begin a bright new chapter ahead. Give me a call soon. I look forward to speaking with you and learning how I might be able to help.